Hey there, everyone. How are you guys? It's Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to look at the upcoming week, which is July 27th through August 2nd, 2025. And we are in Leo energy. Yay! Fire energy. So happy birthday to all of the Leos. I'll be doing the August readings here really soon. But welcome in, you guys. So let's go ahead and pull a card from the clarifying life situations for the overall energy this week. Asking for the overall energy of this upcoming week for everyone watching this channel. And thanks so much for being here. How are you? I hope that you are doing well. I hope you're doing something fun, or I hope you have something fun planned. Overall energy this week. The other thing that I was hearing quite loudly was take it easy this week and beware of, they were saying beware of false flags. I know that can mean a lot of different things, but the energy that I was feeling behind it was don't get caught up in drama or in something that you've heard because it's probably not even accurate or true. So just be aware of what energy you're feeding this week. What do we have? Hurtful events. Oh, that's great. This is a great way to start out the week. So it looks like we've got a person on fire. The card says hurtful events. As you navigate this challenging time, learn to let go of the past so it won't weigh you down. So that this could be talking about, that false flag message that I was getting. Don't get pulled into drama. Don't just be mindful that everything that you are hearing may not be true. So be careful the energy that you are feeding. But there could be, things that come up this week that are reminding you of the past. Hurts, problems, I don't know, feelings. Maybe you run into somebody that you haven't seen for a while and it brings up a load of emotions that you totally forgot about. This could also be talking about, people that have passed away and all of the feelings that come up with that. So be mindful of that. That's kind of the whole reason of getting a reading and checking in with the week, is just to have an idea of what might be coming up so that you can plan ahead. And the other message that I got was take it easy. When we're dealing with a lot of emotion, it is important to take it easy. Slow down. It's hard to go full steam ahead when, you're processing a lot of hurt emotions. Maybe you're angry, maybe you're sad. We're processing, it feels like a week of processing a lot of emotions and things from the past. It could also be behaviors of people this week that remind us of someone from the past. So just be mindful of that. What's your plan this week if you are feeling really depressed or you're feeling really sad? How are you going to deal with that? That's another thing that I like to do when I'm reading ahead. I like to come up with a plan. Okay, if I'm feeling like this, then I'm going to do this. So schedule in time for yourself this week, downtime, maybe journaling, maybe going for a walk, connecting with people that bring you a lot of joy, planning something fun. I did ask you guys at the very beginning, do you have something fun planned? It's nice to have something to look forward to, especially if you're going through a lot of, hurtful things, a lot of heavy emotions. And it could also be just, there's a lot of dense, painful things playing out in the world. So it could be something that you hear or you see on the news, or something like that just really brings you down. So what's your plan for when you are feeling really down? I think it's always really important to connect with that energy and take a look at it. What's coming up? Don't just try to get rid of the feeling. But what is that feeling bringing up for you? All right, so what I think I'm going to do is pull a card for the beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week. And yeah, let's do that. So what do we need to know about the beginning of this week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week? And then we'll ask for some advice and guidance. All right, what do we need to know about the beginning of this week, July 27th through August 2nd, 2025? And I'm using the Everyday Witch. Beginning of the week, 10 of Swords. All right, we're just maybe getting the worst of it out at the beginning of the week. I don't know. Let's take a look. Middle of the week. End of the week. Jeez. Okay. Well, fun week ahead. All right. 10 of Swords. First off, I want to just say, looking at these three cards, it feels like there could be a lot of confusion this week. So I'm just going to say right out the gate, this might not be the greatest week for making big decisions, signing contracts. You know, don't go into anything blind, especially if you are signing a contract. Details matter. So really pay attention to details. If you're entering into any kind of contract this week, really pay attention to the details in that contract. It also feels like the energy feels a little chaotic. And I feel like because of that, it's really easy to be distracted. And when we're distracted, again, we're not paying attention, obviously. And we can make poor plans. Our clarity isn't there. It's a little muddled this week. Again, so just be extra careful if you are entering into any kind of contracts or anything. But we're starting out the week with the 10 of Swords. So what I do like about this card is it's coming out of, maybe last week was particularly difficult. It's coming out of a difficult situation. So its 10s are also completions, they're endings, and it's the start of a new cycle. It's the start of a new week with the 10 of Swords. What I do like about this energy, though, it is there's a lot of focus on coming up with a new plan. A great way to start the week is setting an intention for the week. How do you want to feel? What is maybe something you're going to prioritize this week? So I do feel like at the beginning of the week, we have a lot of opportunity to get really clear on how we're going to handle ourselves this week. Get a hold of yourself. How are you going to handle yourself this week? So there is a lot of clarity here. So I do feel like at the beginning of the week, we have a lot of clarity. Things feel pretty cut and dry. It feels really easy to be very clear about what it is that we want to do, what we want. There's clarity at the beginning of the week. Middle of the week, end of the week, things get a little hazy maybe. So middle of the week, we have the Hanged Man. What I'm going to say about this, and I'm kind of wondering if this is where that energy of, that false flag situation coming in. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't rush into anything. And especially if you're pissed off or angry, don't rush into anything middle of the week. Just kind of, let's just see how things go. Don't make any huge decisions middle of the week. I'm just going to say, don't allow your emotions to run the show middle of the week. Hanged Man, this is Neptune energy. This is water energy. This is also your unconscious playing out. This could be like kind of like that doomsday kind of thinking where you start spiraling out and you're thinking one horrible thing after another. Just stop it with that energy. That's not going to help you. And I feel like this is where things kind of get a little murky midweek. I like what the card says here. Don't allow the energy to weigh you down. So whatever this is, don't allow this to weigh you down. Um, but also make sure you're taking action and making decisions from a conscious way of being. Um, and check in with yourself. What is the narrative? What is the dialogue going on in your mind middle of the week? Again, this is like subconscious energy, um, emotional reactions, maybe not just from you, but from other people. Um, this could be the energy of like a coworker lashing out at you or something like that, or a family member lashing out at you. And maybe your first reaction is to, jump back at them. Don't do that this week. If you can remember that, just, stay focused on where you were at, what you need to do, what's going on in your life. This could also be bigger events happening in the world too that bring division, more division and chaos. It could be that too. I think I will pull some more cards here in just a second, but let me look at this one. Into the week. We have 7 of Cups. This could be needing to make a choice. There could be confusion here. This could also be many doors opening for you. So you have a lot of options. You've got a lot of things you can choose from. That can be a really good situation. I love having a lot of options. I like knowing that there's a lot of doors open for me. But if you're in a place of you don't really know what you want or what would be best for you, that can be kind of confusing. So this does kind of feel like the energy of this continuing on, like the confusion, not being very clear on maybe your next best step type of a thing. But the energy, this does feel lighter. This energy feels lighter towards the end of the week. 7 of Cups. And again, cups, that's emotions. So I'm going to say, don't be impulsive, I guess, would be a good message this week as well. Don't be impulsive this week. Let's see what else is coming up. I just want to pull some cards and I don't know, what else do we need to know about this week? The Hanged Man here, I don't know. That's kind of a big energy. What else do we need to know about this week? This could also be advice and guidance. What do we need to know? I'm hearing take care. So take care of yourself, take care of those around you. Be mindful of other people's pain as well. I mean, we never know what other people are going through, right? Is there something that you could do for someone else that would really make their day, make their week? And know that type of energy, when you put it out there, it does come back to you. What else do we need to know about this week? I want to do 2 cards. We've got the Ace of Cups. Nice. I feel like this energy is coming in towards the end of the week. What else do we need to know? We got the 7 of Swords. 2 very different energies. So the the Ace of Cups, I love this energy. This is emotional fulfillment. This is new energy. So this could be new love coming in, um, new love, new home, new experiences. It's very heart centered. It's very connected, but it's new, refreshing energy. I feel like this is where you're going to get energized this week. Um, and I also feel with this energy, this is being very present with yourself and knowing yourself, um, and not reacting from you're not reacting. You're making conscious decisions, um, from you're making conscious decisions from a place of awareness. Like, you know who you are, you know what you want, you you just you know yourself. It's just a really conscious place of being. And when you're in this type of energy, it's really hard to be rattled by anything, you know? And then we have the Seven of Swords. And what I'm hearing with this card is, you know, don't allow others to steal your joy, and don't allow others to give you their shame. So it could be that I mean, when people are hurt, they do stupid things and they want to bring other people down. That's this type of energy. So just stand very solid in who you are, what is important to you, what are your values, what do you value, and share that with others this week. And don't allow the world to steal your happiness and your joy. That is a choice. Doesn't always feel like that, but it is a choice. All right, gonna leave it there. I hope you have a wonderful week, despite what's going on around you or in the world. All right, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.